ThaBoxingvoice.com here with legendary coach, Mr. Virgil Hunter. Virgil, great seeing you here. We're in LA. Just talk to us about Mario Barrios. You've been working with him now, if I'm not mistaken, 3 fights. Talk to us about the improvement you've seen throughout the camp and what have you liked that you've seen him improve in?
Actually, it's been 8 fights.
Oh, 8 fights.
We've been together. So, I mean, I've just seen him grow. He made a move up in weight, which was a good move for him. His fundamentals, his drive, his desire is really picked up to the A+ level. So he's on a development curve, and each fight, it shows.
Now, obviously, in my opinion, I think the 140-pound division is pretty open. We have a big matchup at the end of October in Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor. Break that matchup down for us, because obviously those are the names that Mario looks forward to fighting here in the future.
Very interesting matchup. Both fighters are very talented. I think it's an open fight. I think because of the location, you might have to favor Taylor in a close fight. Hopefully it'll be judged fair if it gets to that. But I think both fighters have the ability to win against each other. So at this point, I consider it an open fight.
Now, want your thoughts, obviously, being with Andre his whole career, I mean, knowing him since he was a child, having that family relationship. Want your thoughts on Canelo-Kovalev that was announced. Kovalev being somebody that Andre fought twice, stopping him in his last fight. Just want your thoughts on that matchup. What were your thoughts when you heard that Canelo was moving up 2 divisions for that challenge?
Well, I think it was a smart move on Canelo's part to get Kovalev at this time, and particularly bringing him back after a pretty tough fight where he doesn't have much time to recuperate. He goes right back into camp. I'm sure he's got more weight to take off. So we have to see the draining effects that it has on Kovalev's body. But he took the fight, so shouldn't be any excuses. We have to commend Canelo for stepping up to that level. It's a dangerous fight, regardless of the physical state that Kovalev is in. And we have to commend him for taking the fight. Right now, based on size, based on experience, I would say it's an open fight with Canelo slightly favored because of all the other factors involved. The weight, the age, the fact that Kovalev's come off a tough fight. I think that that'll be a factor in the fight.
Now, obviously, we saw Dre expose Kovalev to the body. That is basically what helped him get that stoppage victory in the rematch. Do you feel that that's what Canelo needs to do? He's known for his body work, and with him being the shorter fighter, it's almost like the easier target. Do you feel that that's going to be Canelo's bread and butter in that matchup to come out victorious?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that's what they have to consider, being that it's quite visible that he struggles in that department. But at the same time, Kovalev has got a new outlook with McGirt. I'm sure that McGirt can come up with a plan to keep Canelo off. He's got to go through the jab first, which he has problems with, as Golovkin showed that Canelo has problems with the jab. Kovalev has a world-class jab. He still has his legs. Canelo is a first-step fighter, which means he doesn't take 2 and 3 steps to get to you. After that 1 step, he pretty much stops. So that could be the Kovalev's advantage. Canelo's not what you would consider a cut-the-ring stalk fighter. I don't think he could do that on Kovalev anyway. So he would have to time Kovalev to get the body shots in. But I'm sure the opportunities will be there for him.
Do you feel that Canelo could have competed with the Kovalev that Andre faced in the first fight? Because from my honest opinion, I don't feel like Kovalev was the same after the second fight.
Hard to say. I think at that time Kovalev was at his height and at his best at that time. So it's hard to say, but he still had certain habits, certain things, that negativity that he was bringing to the fight. So, I mean, the fight could have been there for Canelo at that stage. But by Canelo being a smaller man at that time, I don't think that they would have took that fight.
What'd you make of Kovalev's last fight against Yard? Did you happen to watch it?
I watched it.
What'd you make of the fight and Yard's trainer saying that they don't spar at all?
Well, they have their own strategy and how they go about things, and what they believe in. To be interested to see what they do in the future. I'm one who believes in sparring, but there are some other fighters who didn't spar. Nigel Benn didn't spar. There's some other fighters who've had success that didn't spar. And, you know, he had success at times in the fight. I think that without the sparring, that it did show up in the stamina department, where he got tired by not having the rounds in the ring, in the gym. So they might want to consider that, and at least maybe, you know, sparring 1 or 2 times a week to build up the stamina that only sparring can bring.
Absolutely. Now, I have to ask, should Canelo come out victorious, would you mind seeing Dre come out of retirement for a super matchup between himself and Canelo Alvarez?
Dre is set for life. He planned it right. His exit strategy was right on point. He has a great career after boxing by broadcasting. I don't know what type of money it would take to entice him to come back in the ring, but you never say no, and only time will tell.
Thank you very much, Virgil. Truly appreciate it.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.